Hey, this is Daryl Henry with Insurance for Entrepreneurs, and this video is how much does commercial property insurance cost in Maryland? While I can't answer that question directly for you because everybody's different, what I'm going to do is walk through 7 factors that are going to influence how much you pay for commercial property insurance, and hopefully that'll help you negotiate your program. The first thing that's going to influence how much you pay for property insurance is the location of your property. There's a number of different variables on this. First, maybe your property is way out in the country and it's nowhere near a fire hydrant and it's nowhere near a fire department. Way insurance companies are going to look at that is they're going to say, if there's a fire in that building, it's going to be really hard to put it out. Or perhaps your building is close to the coast, in which case an insurance company is going to say, I'm really worried about windstorms tearing up this building. Or perhaps you're in an inner city area that's prone to vandalism and theft, in which case insurance companies are going to look at that. The location of your property matters a lot for how much you pay for insurance. The second thing that's going to impact how much you pay for property insurance is the type of business and industry that you're in. It's one thing if you have an apartment building, it's different if you run a manufacturing business or a retail shop. All of these have different implications for the likelihood of a fire, likelihood of vandalism, likelihood of a power surge, all of these different types of variables. And the way insurance companies think is they try and group a lot of data together. So they'll try and create homogeneous stacks of data. So they'll study manufacturing plants of this type of construction across the country to determine the probability of certain types of claims. Yeah, it's a lot of numbers. All this to say, it matters a lot what's inside your building for how much you're going to pay for property insurance. A third factor that's going to impact how much you pay is the building construction and age. Basically, what's it made out of? Is it concrete slab? Is it brick? Is it wood? Is it steel? All of these different materials burn differently. And then age matters a lot too, because what the insurance industry knows is that newer buildings are more resilient than older buildings. There was a picture I saw after a hurricane in Florida, had a picture of 19 buildings that were totally wiped out that had been built in the 1970s. And then there was one building that had been built in the last 5 years and it had withstood the hurricane. The insurance industry knows that older buildings are more likely to be damaged than newer buildings. So that matters for what you pay for insurance. The fourth thing that's going to impact how much you pay is the value of your property. If you're asking for $2 million of property insurance, that's going to be more expensive than a similar property that costs $1 million. I think this makes logical sense to most people. That's not what bothers most buyers. What bothers most buyers is whether or not the value on the policy is an accurate one. Where I have a lot of hard conversations is when somebody has bought a building for 50,000 and the insurance company says, "Yeah, you might have paid 50,000, but it would cost 400,000 to rebuild it." Because that's what insurance companies are concerned about, how much it will cost to rebuild and replace your property at a time of claim. The fifth thing that's going to impact how much you pay for insurance is the coverage limits that you choose and the deductibles. So basically, it's one thing to know how much it would cost to replace it. It's a totally different thing to understand how much coverage you're actually going to buy. And if you choose to accept a higher deductible, you could potentially pay less. Or if you're going to not insure your property to the fullest value of what it would cost to replace, now there's limitations on what you can do there. But if you choose to do that, you could pay less. So the coverages you choose are going to impact how much you pay. Security and safety measures, number 6. This is going to impact how much you pay too. Insurance companies like to see that you have alarm systems, fire alarm systems. Sometimes they'll bake in discounts for those types of things. Cameras can matter, less so because those are more reactive measures than, say, a fire alarm system that's going to alert the fire department and have them send out a fire truck to prevent further damage. But anything that you do to preserve your property can influence how an underwriter views you. And the seventh thing that's going to impact how much you pay for property insurance is your claims history. If you have a history of vandalism, insurance companies are going to say, we're going to charge a lot of money for vandalism claims, or we're just not going to cover it at all. So your history is something that the insurance company uses to predict the future on how much they will likely pay out for a claim. All right, those are 7 things that will impact how much you pay for property insurance. I'm sorry I can't give you a ballpark without knowing your business in particular and all these factors, but these are the things that are going to influence how much you pay for insurance. If this is helpful, please hit like and subscribe. It helps other people like you find the channel. And if you want to learn more about me, please go to my website at insuranceforontrepreneurs.net. It's got my contact information and more content just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go build something great.